Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another episode of Water Rising. Today, I wanted to talk about the flow of life and being in the flow of life and what this means, right? Because I know so many of you listening, we're on this bigger journey. And what this means for us is like as children and young adults, we have had a lot of things happen to us, right? We probably did not have those dreamlike childhoods, fantasy childhoods that are possible for some, right? Those of us with these really bigger soul journeys tend to have had a lot of things happen to us. And I believe that this is a divine orchestration, not to negate in any way the trauma, right, that we have experienced and the depth to which that has affected us, but really to speak more to how we are able to hold others because we understand, right? We have that compassion, we have that understanding of how deep trauma changes us and how the path to walking through it and being on the other side of it allows for us holding a certain resonance and a certain understanding of how to be with people really in this deeper place, right? So then we become the helper, the healer, the person that is here to then reach out our hand to other people that have experienced hard times, challenges, and we now can help guide them along the path that we have already walked and therefore have a lived experience of, which in my experience is very, very profound, to be able to witness somebody in their pain and be able to hold them, because I have held that pain within my own body and within my own psyche. So how this ties into the flow of life, right, is that what can happen sometimes is as we are moving through our trauma, through our challenges, we're doing the deep work that is necessary, right? The ancestral healing and clearing and all of the inner child work and all of the energetic reconstruction that is necessary for our being and our body to fully be able to express its intuitive sensibilities or sensitivities. There is this flow of life that has unfolded through all of our moments. And we can tend to, as we're moving through all this healing work and this self-exploration work, we can tend to look back and judge sometimes, right? Like the people that hurt us, the situations, the circumstances that we were born into or that we had to traverse in our younger years. It can be very easy to sit in a lot of judgment and a lot of blame and a lot of victimhood around that journey. And I believe that that journey is the curing. It is the thing that gives us the architecture to do this work and to live a bigger purpose. Because without it, we wouldn't understand the flow of life that is moving through everything, right? And if we negate that part of our journey, or if we sit in the place of victim, or we want to blame our parents, we are forgetting the divine orchestration that flows through all those moments, and that all those things happen on a soul level so that we can do the work that we are here to do, right? Especially in these times, oh my goodness, right? Like this is what we have been working for. This is the time that we have been waiting for. And now it's here. Wow, is it spicy? Wow, is it setting us on fire? Yet, this is why we came here. This is why all the things happen to us. This is why we've done all the work we've done. It's so that we can be available in this moment to be of support, to help people walk through these times, right? There's so many shifts in humanity. What do you want to do with them, right? How do you want to show up for this? How do you want to show up for your life? Because the flow of life, the universe, God, divine source, whatever that resonates for you, whatever word and connection is for you. How are you moving and growing with that still? How are you seeing that every moment of your life had a purpose, had information, had structure in it that has allowed for you to now be here. And how are you going to take that deeper? What are you going to do with that? Right? It's so easy to get caught in the big collective fear and victim. Victim is a big archetype that's playing out at the moment, right? Also, the archetype of like the oppressor and the suppressor and the war, right? That's a big archetype we're inside of now, the fight. And how are we going to work with those? How are we going to allow those to play out in our life today? How are we going to come into our being and have a conscious relationship with the vehicle that we live inside, right? Our soul lives in a highly evolved vehicle. It's been evolving for hundreds of thousands of years, and we get the privilege of living inside it for this lifetime so that we can engage with life and that we can be part of the flow of life that is happening on our planet at the moment, right? Everything has a bigger picture involved if we're willing to look at it. And the old structures have to be dismantled if the new structures are going to take hold. So inside of all of this, right, there's the flow of life. And when I track back in my own life, I have always been in that flow. Even in the most challenging of times, even in the most hurtful of times, and the most traumatic of times, there has been a flow. And that flow has led me. And that flow has always been available when I was willing to connect in with it. And the word that's dropping in is surrender, right? Because in these times, and in so many times in my past, surrender has been the only choice. And not passive surrender, not surrender, I give up, oh, I'm a victim, I don't know what to do, oh, poor pity me. Although I will say I have played in that place many times, right? It's hard to not have a pity party sometimes. But the more work we do, the less we stay in that space, right? And now when we look at these things, we can actually say, oh, what's the opportunity? What is the thing that I am here to create with what is happening? And how am I supposed to bring something divine, something purposeful, something aligned to the world through these situations that are happening? And this is the beauty when we surrender to the flow of life and when we look for the flow of life in all of our moments, because we can really get caught in the drama. We can really get caught in the illusion, right, of what is happening and think that this is the reality. But the truth is, the reality is what we're making it. And there's a neutral place that we can land, right? And then in that place of surrendered to the drama, surrendered to the story, surrendered to the belief, that we can then take action from a more purposeful place. It's the place underneath that, right? That feels grounded, that feels connected to the earth. And we're allowing the earth to sustain us. And then through this place, we then move with the flow. And the more that we clean up our energetic architecture, the more that we clean up the stories that we live inside of, the more that we question the beliefs that we believe. One of my favorite quotes, and I can't remember who said it, but it's in a book that I've had for decades. And it says, you can have your beliefs, just don't believe in them. And the first time I read that, like a light bulb went on for me, right? Oh my gosh, like everything is a belief. We live inside of beliefs, inside of beliefs, inside of beliefs, stories inside of stories. And for so many years, my stories defined me. And because they defined me, they kept me separate from the flow, right? So I had to really search hard for that flow, or I was separate from it. But the more that we clear away those stories, the more that we settle into the neutrality that's available underneath all of that, then the flow of life picks us up and takes us and carries us. And it's no longer us fighting and rallying and, oh my gosh, what do I do? And the confusion and all the fear of the uncertainty and the unknown. All of that settles because now we are in the flow. And when we're in this flow, right, life takes on a very different purpose, perspective, meaning, and we can really tap into what is the truth of our heart, because ultimately, right, that flow of life flows through our hearts. And it's here to bring our dreams, our purposes, our desires into reality for the good of us all. So my loves, where can you be in that flow of life? How can you connect in with it more deeply? And this is, I've started talking about the journey. It is the place where we come together and we do this. We explore it together. We look at the practices. We look at the conditioning. We look at all sorts of things that help us come back into center, into your heart, into the truth that you are here for, and into your purpose, right? So that you can clear away anything that's in the way and you can access this flow of life. So there's a link in the show notes. I'd love to have you join us in the journey. And if you want more of these teachings and more of this content, go on over to Substack and join Water Rising. We have a ton of content over there. We have free content and exclusive content that you can only access as a member. And I am inside of these transmissions, these teachings on a daily basis, and bringing content to you throughout the week, ways that you can explore and expand your consciousness by really activating, right, the truth of your soul. We're not here, like, you are not a problem to be fixed. You are a divine being, and through these teachings, I really want you to have a way to grasp this and work with this and understand this deeper part of yourself. So hop on over to Substack. There's a link in the show notes. And if you want to find out even more about what we're doing, you can find us at sarahnoble.com. Have a beautiful day.